Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jessica Flynn and I am the owner and maker of Flynn Sisters Boutique. And today I'm going to show you how I did this 3-color ombre leopard print melt type design. Now, I wasn't planning on doing a tutorial on this when I first created it, but you guys really loved the TikTok that I made with this design and a lot of you have requested this tutorial. So here we are. I'm going to have all the products that you see in this video listed and linked down below in the description box. You might even find some discount codes for you there as well. So that's enough chit chat for me. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright you guys, so today I'm working with a 20-ounce skinny straight from Craft Haven that had previously been stripped. If you don't know how to strip your tumblers, I will link a video down below that you might find helpful. So that's why there's still some white paint on it, but it's absolutely perfect for what we're going to be doing today. I'm starting with gold at the very top, and then I'm going to go in with this Rose Glow. This is my favorite hot pink from Design Masters. And I should have done a white base coat underneath this because I ended up having to do a few coats of that pink, but whatever. And then my smallest color section out of this 3-color ombre will be the black. I don't want the black to take up too much of this design, so I'm just going to do a thinner strip of that black color through the center. As soon as this was dry to the touch, we were ready to move on to applying our glitter. For this particular kind of design, I highly recommend using epoxy as your adhesive as opposed to Mod Podge or glitter adhesive. It's going to hold your base glitter so much stronger and give you true one-coat coverage, which is kind of important for what we're going to be doing later. So you guys have seen me do epoxy method glitter a million times on my channel. What we're doing is just applying a very thin layer of epoxy resin. I use probably less than 1 milliliter here. We want to smooth out any lines that we see. If you have a few lines in your epoxy, maybe just let it sit for a bit until they smooth out. But it's really important that you get a thin layer. Too much epoxy and it's going to look like your glitter is oily or too saturated. All right. Once we've got that applied, I'm ready to start pouring on my glitter. I'm going to start first with our chunkiest color at the top, which is this gold custom mix from Mr. NOLA'S Glitter. I will have it listed down below in the description box. And we're going to start by tilting our cup, and I want to aim for the top rim of my cup, but I don't want that glitter to fall down any further than that black section. So I'm actually going to start with the cup straight to get solid coverage around that very top rim because there's not going to be any kind of gradient of color up there. Then we'll move on to tilt the cup and lightly tap our glitter, again aiming at that top rim to let that glitter cascade down no further than where that black section ends. It's important that we don't extend the fade of this top color too far, otherwise we won't see the contrast in our leopard spots later. We do still want to achieve an ombre, but just not too much. Once I've established a good fade with the gold, I'm going to move on to the pink. You'll notice that I'm not going for full coverage quite yet until I've established like a good blend between all 3 colors. The pink I'm using, it's a finer cut. I don't remember what the name is, but I will have it listed down below in the description box. So we're going to go all the way with full coverage down there at the bottom. Then again, tilt our cup up at about a 45-degree angle, and I'm aiming towards that bottom corner rim, okay? I don't want the pink to go any further to where the black kind of starts. So again, just really light coverage. The way to get a good ombre, I think, is to just have patience. You know, don't try to rush the blend. You can always add more. We just can't always take away. Once I get a good fade with the pink, I'm going to move into my black, starting with a solid band around the very center where I know I'm not going to have really any kind of gradient. And then I'll first tilt my cup up to go into the gold and then repeat that process down to go into the pink. Again, just doing very light coverage, very light dustings until I can establish my blend. Now that I've got my colors laid out how I want, I am going to really let it rip. So starting with the pink, remember we still don't have a lot of buildup yet, so you don't want to let it rip too hard to where you might lose some of your blend and fade. So still kind of take it easy, keeping your cups at an angle so you can still get that cascade into the next color. Make sure, especially when we have a lot of contrast between our colors, that we're aggressively tapping off the excess between each color. Sometimes when I get a good pile up of glitter on, I won't even tap the excess off onto the paper. I'll just tap the excess into the trash or something because I really don't want to mix those colors on my paper. After we've got everything glittered how we want, I'm just going to let this sit for a solid 2 hours or so on my drying rack. I did use a fast setting epoxy, so after 2 hours, we should be ready to go on to the next step. For our next step, I'm going to aggressively tap off and brush off any kind of excess glitter. And now we're ready to start on hand painting our leopard spots. Using the same gold glitter that I used for this top here and an angled brush, I'm going to take my designer adhesive that I got from Britches and Bow Shop to hand paint my leopard spots. It's always helpful to have a picture or something around if you can't think by memory on like spot placement or spot shaping. I always try to explain it like this. Some of the spots are going to be like C's. Some of them will be C's with like a comma mark inside. Some of them will be just like 3 rounded dots. Some of them will be like a very large, goofy looking C, and some of them will just be dots. Okay, some of them will be like parentheses even. All right, we want to have a good variation of spot shapes. We also want to size them fairly close together. I think that's what really makes this look, you know, good. I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. I prefer my spots close together. You do your spots however you want to do them. But I bring those spots all the way up into that gold glittered section. The idea here is that the leopard spots are kind of melting down from that top gold ombre. All right. So I think is so pretty about this design. I would also recommend when you're picking colors that your top color is some sort of like metallic, either like a silver or gold or something bold that will stand out and contrast against your bottom 2 colors. All right, so I just repeat that process all the way around the cup, working in small sections at a time. I don't want to add too many spots at once because we don't want that glue to dry before we get our glitter on there. I'm aggressively tapping off the excess glitter with the scissors at the top of my cup each time that I sprinkle the glitter over. And then every few minutes or so, I'll take a paper towel and some rubbing alcohol and clean out my angled brush. This will help with glue and glitter buildup and help keep your brush nice and clean for a long time. Of course, wash it with soap and water when you're done. But this is the end result. I let that dry for a few hours, and then again, I'm going to aggressively tap off the excess glitter. I'm also going to brush it off with a dry brush. Once we've got all that excess glitter removed, I'm going to take it over to my spray booth, and I'm going to do 1 generous coat of Rustoleum 2x clear gloss spray paint to seal everything in. If you're worried about this, you could maybe do 2 coats of the clear coat, but I don't really think you need to. A solid, generous coat. Obviously, you don't want it so generous to where it's dripping off, but you know, just a good solid coat. I do let that dry for a good 20-30 minutes, depending on the heat and humidity in my workspace. But you really want to make sure that that sealant is completely dry before we move on to our first coat of epoxy. Otherwise, it's going to look cloudy under your epoxy layer. This first coat of epoxy is going to be about 40 milliliters. I am using a fast setting epoxy for this first coat. And once I get all of this applied, I'm just going to hit it with my torch to pop any bubbles. I'm going to let this roll for a couple hours, and then I come right back over that with a second coat. And then you guys know the routine. I'm not going to finish off this cup in this video because it's pretty much just epoxying till smooth and adding a decal, which you guys have seen me do many times before. But I will tell you that if you want to see this pink one completely finished, be sure to follow me on Instagram so you can see the final photos and videos. I think it turned out so super cute. Here is the green and gold one that I made. I put a very simple decal on this with just simply unbothered. This green one I had originally started in my FSX group, which is our paid mentorship group, and we were just working on a 3-color ombre, and then off camera I got the idea to add the leopard spots. And again, I really wasn't planning on doing a tutorial on this because I thought it was pretty simple, but you guys wanted it, so I really do hope you enjoyed this video. And if you liked it, be sure to give us a big thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I upload new videos every Wednesday and Saturday. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again soon. And a big thank you to all of our Flynn Sisters exclusive members. Thank you for your pledge. Your support means the world to our channel. If you love this video, you could check out our last video here. Also be sure to find us on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, and of course subscribe for all our new videos that come out every Wednesday and Saturday. Thanks so much for watching. See you soon.